Hello everyone and welcome to another traditional draft of Dominaria United. Again, rare is decent. Yeah, I would say this is first pickable. The other options in the pack are Arona's Vortex and the Garna, but these are two color cards. You do want to kick the Vortex to make it very good. So maybe I should take the red card. I'm just afraid I'm gonna have yet another blue-red deck if I start with this, but what else can I take here? I mean, Garna would be one, but then again, two drafts ago I had a black-red deck, so that's not really that different either. So I guess I should take the single color card, and this can give you free cards, and that's definitely valuable. When I first pick it, I can even draft a bit around it. Just some, always castable instant and sorceries that are not so reliant on the board state, and you get some free cards out of this thing. It is good. Alright, so this pack has... Okay, someone took the rare. There's a Rulik Mons. There is a Repossession. And there's a Geothermal Bog. Well, I'm not taking the Bog here. I'm actually thinking about... I mean, you could take the Runic Shot, but I think I'm going to take the Rulik Mons. I haven't drafted red-green in a while. This is maybe not the greatest in red-green, but it's still fine. And you could take the Repossession, get some kind of domain deck or some late game focused control deck. But I like the uncommon here, so let's take it here. Let's see what else gonna be open. Okay, I do have a Sprouting Goblin here. There's also the Talas Lookout, which would be a good pick in here, but now that I have basically a start for a red-green deck, the Sprouting Goblin is very decent, because when you play this for 3 mana, you of course net a land, and of course it still functions as a 2 mana 2/2 when you need it for curve reasons, and then of course the sacrificing lands to draw cards is very decent late game when you might need to find some more gas from your deck. And okay, well, this pack has a Strength of the Coalition, which I really like, but only when I can kick it. This pack also has a Colossal Growth, which is the reason to draft red-green, I think, in this set, because this is really decent. Now, of course, pump spells are risky against the instant speed interaction, but when the opponent doesn't have it, this can basically make sure that you can attack with even quite small creatures into some huge creatures, except though if they have Death Touch, it's not so great. But yeah, the Colossal Growth, and don't underestimate the haste ability to, on turn 5 you can have a 2 mana creature, kick this thing, and you have a +4/+4 trample and haste for the creature you just played. So easy pick here. And okay, there's a Wooded Ridgeline which I'm going to take. I always want to have at least 2. I mean, I would never play... I mean, I would always play at least 2 of these in any decks that are 2 colors. Even the most aggressive ones, because of course entering tapped can cause some troubles when you curve out, but still the fact they fix your colors so well is really worth it. So I'm gonna pick this pretty high, and the other options here are like other colors, tribute to Urborg, but I have a pretty decent start for red-green, and I see gas might amplify them. Red and green might be enough open even that I shouldn't even think about any other options, although now I'm seeing here a Talas Lookout and a Vohar. They are the 2 best cards in the pack. But maybe I'm not going to play blue. I have played so much blue in the last couple of drafts that I should maybe ignore it now. And it is a good start. I do like the Colossal Growth. It makes me want to draft green. I like the Rulik Moss because it has menace. It's hard to block. It's small for a 4-drop, but it has menace, and of course an ability that gives you some kind of value. So I'll take the Warbrute because this is also really decent in red-green. I do want to have the the 8-drop from red, which is of course not going to be an 8-drop because it's cheaper based on the highest power among the creatures you control. So this thing is really well goes well with that, because you can enlist something. This can be a 5, 6, even 7 power, and the opponent might not always have a blocker for it, but because this tramples also, and then you can get a very cheap what's the monstrosity, the 5/5 trampler for 8. Okay, this is a little weak pack. I don't usually like the Gasmite in this color combination, because I don't intend to have, you know, off-color dual lands. I want to have my lands enter untapped, plus, you know, having these tapped lands that, you know, actually fix my mana. Now it's still playable. 1 mana plus 2/2 is okay. I think it's like between the Librarian and the Gasmite. You could take this to maybe, you know, speculate on having some more splashes like red-green domain, but even in a red-green domain deck I would rather have the Gasmite, so let's take it. And Colossal Growth, I'm gonna take it over the Flowstone Infusion. I think it's that good, so let's just do it. And well, I guess I can play like one Fire Tornado. Yep, it's better than the Snare Spinner or the Crusher there. So this is now 8 spells, but maybe I don't want to play the Gasmite, so it's you know, well, it's now 8 spells because I got my Molten Monstrosity. This is the card I was talking about. Quite easy to be a cheap card in this deck, especially when you have Colossal Growths. You can, I mean, let's say your 3/3 attacks into their 3/2, you play the Colossal Growth, your creature survives, it has 6 or 7 power, and then you can play this for 1 or 2 mana. Bog Badger as a 3-drop, that's fine. Another Bog Badger. Now with 2 of these I actually do want to have some ways to, you know, kick them. Okay, Quirn Beast Collar, just a pretty unfair 2-drop. Of course, it's not so great when you top deck it, but if you play it so that you have other creatures to play on the same turn or on future turns, and if the opponent can't kill it, it can be a really painful to deal with, because if this dies to, you know, destroy or damage-based removal, you also get to you know, distribute the counters it accumulated on some other creatures you have. Yeah, easy pick here. There's no, I don't think there's any uncommon or common I would pick over this thing if I'm playing green. Okay, there is a wooded ridgeline, and there's also a Flowstone Infusion, which I think I should take like 1 infusion here easily. Yeah, let's take it. I do hope to get the ridgeline. I wouldn't mind having 2 of these, but since I have already 1, it's not a high priority. I think I can take the cheap interaction now. And Colossal Growth, easy pick. I would be interested in having the Branch Rider, or maybe even something like an Elfheim back in here, but I'm gonna take pretty much every Colossal Growth. Now I can also cut the Gasmite, that's no longer needed here. How about the curve? I have 8 creatures, 5 non-creatures, of which I have like a small creature removal, big creature removal, and 3 of these pump spells. An okay mana curve, and yeah, I do have the Flame Sage, but it's still okay with the you know, the pump spells. Getting to cast 1 for free so that it doesn't cost you a card is, you know, quite nice. And this says you can cast it without paying its mana cost, but you can still pay the kicker cost. So you don't get the kicker for free, but you can choose to, you know, have a Colossal Growth, cast it, and then pay, you know, cast it for free, but then pay 1 red mana to kick it as well. Alright, so there is a Hurler Cyclops, which isn't bad, but because I have double Bug Badger, and they are, you know, reasonable 3-drops, 3 mana, 3/3, something this deck just can be interested in, and with the Colossal Growths I can even push through, you know, some bigger creatures with them. So Haunted Mire is good because it, you know, acts as a green source, but also helps me kick these guys. So the other option would be the Cyclops, but I think I can have, you know, 5-drops, and I don't even need them that many. I already have Monstrosity and Fire Tornado as some expensive cards in here. You can't really, you know, pack your deck full of 4+ mana cards. Okay, this pack doesn't have a lot for me, but I actually need 2-drops, so don't mind having the picker. This is, I mean, this has blue kicker. I don't think I'm gonna get blue that easily, so I'm gonna take these. Both are 2 mana 2/2s basically. But a funny observation, I think this is like the third repossession I've seen in this draft, and maybe like the third Talas Lookout. These are very good cards both, and it's funny to be passing them. But I got something for my own deck here. Alright, so the Radha is definitely better in domain decks. Now I do have one Haunted Mire, and of course something to note is that Sprouting Goblin can get you lands with basic land types, so this actually is another way to get the Haunted Mire. So this might give +3/+3 to some other creature, and it's not like I care about the Visionary or these Gas Might or the Prodigy too much, so I'll take this here, and I might find, you know, some other lands still. Although I don't know if I'm gonna actually play them that much. I mean, something like a blue-green producing land. Well, I don't have to worry about it now. There's something else to think about. Once again, a repossession. I, could maybe splash it because I do have the Mire with the way to fetch it, but I could also just take the Ridgeline. I think getting the mana to work here is more important here. I'm not necessarily interested in splashing. Okay, here another Ridgeline, but Colossal Growth is the pick. I don't think there's like an upper limit. Well, there is an upper limit, but it's not 4. Maybe I wouldn't play like more than 6, but I guess I could play 6 Colossal Growths. Here, pretty much nothing here. This is a best of 3 draft, so I guess there's some chance that I'm gonna sideboard in a Snare Spinner if I'm really playing against a lot of flyers, but this format doesn't have an actual flyer deck. There's a blue-white deck, but it doesn't even have that many flyers, but I'm gonna still take it here. Okay, I got another Ridgeline. Bugbatcher, I don't need Bugbatcher number 3 here. I'm gonna take the Ridgeline. This makes my red-green mana quite reliable now. It's a bunch of Ender Stacked lands, but I can live with that. And I got the Branch Rider here, that's really decent too. And I even got the Cyclops here, which I was thinking about picking maybe earlier. C1 Devastator, yeah, it's a amazing card, so I'm gonna take it. Yep, 1x Flying Haste, size determined by the X here. Of course there is a Lightning Strike, which would be a very good first pick too, but obviously it's just not quite as good as the Devastator here. So let's take it. Electrostatic Infantry, Flowstone Kavu, Colossal Growth. Yeah, in a red-green deck you are not going to have like 10 instant sorceries. And while this is still good if you have one, I think I'm just gonna take another Colossal Growth. I just like the card too much. And then I can take here, I think the Sunbathing Root. Well, I do need some, 2-drop still. I don't have that many of them because these are not castable on turn 2. Yeah, let's take the Root. Well, it's fine. That's 12 red, 11 green cards. And Geothermal Bug, Tangled Islet. I guess I could take the bug here. There's a Branch Rider, but I'm not sure I that much care about it. I basically need only 2 more non-lands here to make it the deck. There's actually, I'm willing to play all of these cards. I could maybe fine-tune the mana curve a bit here. But I'm gonna take the bug now because that's also going to help me, kicking these badgers. Sure. I do want to have some 2 mana cards though. 2 mana creatures specifically. The Weather Seed 3D is just not gonna be that great in here. I guess I'll take the Windshaper Prodigy. It's not going to be anything else than a 2 mana 2/2 unless I find a blue producing land, but let's take the 2-drop. Oh, Iconoclast. Well, that's an easy pick here. There's also pretty late Balmor here, but I guess it's pack 3 if no one is blue-red. Then it's gonna go around the table. Okay, Rootwalla number 2. Okay, so I got I'm not gonna splash for this thing. It's really good, of course, but I'll just take the 2-drop. I'm happy about my mana curve now. I think the deck is pretty much finished. And here I'm gonna take the Tributary because that allows me to kick the thing, and it's also giving me a little bit more domain. I have now a few domain cards, including the couple of Sunbathing Rootwallas here. I think I'll take the Flowstone Kavu though. I could definitely use another 3 mana creature. There's some cards I need to make, but I can find some cards here. Could be the Hurler Cyclops actually. I'm gonna cut it as the first thing here. feels like it's the least impressive card in here. And now this is 24 cards, maybe one more card, and that's it. Okay, so I do have options here. Tortoise is actually not so bad with the Colossal Growth, which I have 5 of. It's safer against removal because of the ward, but this is just a better card with Menace. So let's take it. Don't think I'm gonna splash anything here. Frenzies, there's a word. I don't think I really need the ward guy either. I'll just take the uncommon here, and I go to another branch walker. Branch rider, I mean. Sure. Okay. Got the lands for now. That is 26 cards. Now I do prefer these branch riders to be 4-drop, so I think I can cut at least one of them. Maybe not two. I don't have, because I did cut the Hurler Cyclops, and I don't think I'm gonna include it in the main deck. Now I'm gonna play the other branch rider. It of course does have the 1-mana option too. But how about my 3-drops, 2-drops, Flowstone Infusion? This is like usually, ideally, a bit more expensive card. I wouldn't want to have like a 3-mana 2/2 flyer, but sometimes that's what you want to do because of curve reasons, or the flyer is just, let's say the opponent is at a low life total and you have to play some other card, and then you're left with 3 mana. Maybe you just want to play a haster now to continue with the pressure. But yeah, let's see the 2 mana cards here. Assuming I don't kick these things, I do probably want to kick this, but let's see. If I just want to play something on turn 2, I have the Picker, the Goblin. That's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I guess I could cut the Prodigy. It is the weakest of them. I have, 1 blue producing land if I choose to play it, and 1 way to get it. Now the blue producing land also, benefits the Sunbathing Rootfallas, and it benefits the Ratha here. I don't intend to play the Gas Might though, so is that the only... Let's see the Domain here. Yeah, that's only 3 cards with Domain. Maybe it's not worth it. I mean, if I have Domain of 3, that's still quite okay with the Ratha and the Rootfallas. These threaten to be 5/5s with the activation. And that also means I don't have to play that many, Endless Tapped lands. I would still play 5 Endless Tapped lands. Is there a world where I actually play, 16 lands? Because I can do it because I have, of course, a lot of these red-green duals, so I can easily have a reliable color base, so to say, even with 16 lands. But I might not want to do it actually, and I do have a Goblin Picker and a Sprouting Goblin, both of which can be used to, turn extra lands into other cards. So I will play 17 lands, and I'm just thinking if I should maybe cut the Prodigy, and once I cut the Prodigy, I don't have to, play the Molten Tributary here. But that leaves me with 1 more card. I don't think I'm gonna play 16 like I just said, and I'm gonna play all the Colossal Growths. I'm gonna play the 1 of Fire Nado. I don't have, that much removal. I have a bunch of pump spells, but sometimes you need exactly a removal. And how many instant sorceries? That is 7 for now for the Flame Sage, and of course all of the others I can easily cast because of their mana cost, but the Fire Nado. So that is 6, castable things. Because the Colossal Growth and the Infusion can be cast even if I don't enlist anything, because you don't have to enlist to make this ability work. You just get to, look more cards and get more expensive cards. So if I enlist something with, 3 or more power, I can even get the free Fire Nado in that case. Yep, so the Flame Sage is definitely going to be played, and I think a 3 mana 2/3 with Enlist would be like okay. Enlist is actually quite a good ability. I quite like Enlist. It is a very, very decent aggressive ability. But now, what is the final cut? I will cut a card here. So it could be one of the 3-drops. I like the Badgers now because of the two black land, two swamps basically, because these are also swamps, not by their name, but they have a land type swamp. And I have the way to get them, so I have basically 3 ways to get a black producing land, so the badges can be somewhat reliably kicked later in the game, and that can really mean the difference between win and losing a game. So I don't really want to lose another 2-drop, especially because I actually want to kick the sprouting coupling. The iconoclast is something you don't have to kick. It's only, you know, a nice option to have when you have more than 2 mana, but you can play this as a 2 mana 3/2, especially on turn 2, and you can be happy about it, but you really prefer to get the land out of this card. So I kind of want to keep the, you know, put this to the 3 mana slot, which also makes me want to cut a 3-drop here. So the thing with the Kavu is that it's also very good with the Colossal Growth, because this needs a, you know, 2 blockers. With Colossal Growth I can make it into 5/6 or 6/7 even, in which case it, and then I can even use the plus minus 1 ability as well. So it's really decent here. I kind of like it. Plus it is just an evasive creature. If opponent has only 1 blocker, they can't even block it. So maybe it is the Badger after all. Now it could be maybe the Branch Rider too of 4 mana. Actually, I think it's the Branch Rider. Let's get rid of it. 4 mana 3/3 haste. It's not really that good. I know it has options. You first of all can play it as a 1 mana 1/1 haste, and then the +2/+0 activation is nothing. You can attack into, you know, 5 toughness creatures, even 7 toughness creatures when you have 6 mana available. So it's not bad, but I guess I'm gonna leave this as my main deck, and then, you know, I can sideboard into, you know, these Branch Riders if I feel like I need this pump ability or something. And this will be it. So this is now 16 creatures, 7 non-creatures. So I should have enough creatures to not be, you know, stranded with these Colossal Growths. Because of course when I have 5 of these, I could have hands which, you know, have 2 or 3 of them in hand. So you really want to have creatures on the battlefield so you can actually use the cards. But this deck is, this has enough you know, creatures. I'm gonna play the black producing off-color duels, but not going to play the Molten Tributary. And I do have 12 and 13 red and green. I have one double green card, no double red, but these things, you know, prefer red. But how about, so I'm gonna actually, oh, that's pretty easy, because as you can see I have 12 lands to add in here, so that's 6 plus 6, because I have now already here 4 green and 4 red sources here. So I will actually have a very, very sweet mana base of 10 plus 10. So let's do it. 6 in here and 6. Oh, what's the art? This one. Okay, 10/10 colors. So I really hope that I don't have starting hands with, you know, 3 mountains and all green cards. At least the likelihood for that is quite low. So this is the main deck. Ha! What did I just say about the starting hands? 2 forests, all red cards. Oh boy. And there's also, you know, a 5-drop card that can cost a lot with this setup. I have to mulligan this. Alright, that's fine, and then I can lose one mountain. Wonder if I should. Yeah, I guess I don't have to play the tapped land right now. I'm thinking I'm gonna take the 1 damage here and then see if they have a 2-drop I want to kill with the infusion here. If they just pass here, I think I'm gonna use the infusion. Okay, well, I can't actually kill that thing, so let's kill that instead. Okay, red green middle. I'm actually going to use the discard ability here, and I still want to maybe use the colossal growth, so I'm gonna just pass here for now. So if they have like a pump spell of their own, this is of course going to be horrible. If they have a burn spell of their own, it's gonna be horrible. I actually want, if I would block here, I would need to kick this thing actually, because I would, you know, be miserable against +3/+0 first strike, for instance. Okay, fine, let's block. I mean, I'm probably gonna lose, and I'm not gonna even... I have to do the kicking. So if they have a burn spell here, or a colossal growth, or a bite down or something, yeah, this is bad. They had exactly a colossal growth. Well, the good news is we need another one to attack past the BO3 here. Yet they do have... I mean, I can't block it now because of course they wouldn't make this attack without some trick, but I guess I'm gonna use my... Alright. So they're gonna now enlist the BO3, and if they have a colossal growth... I mean, I'm just losing because we have the same deck and they have a better start here than I. I wasn't in a position to race here at all. So... why did they have to have the enlister there? So bad. Well, I guess I have not really much options here. I just have to hope they don't have exactly colossal growth, because no +3/+0 is gonna be good enough. Yeah. Well, sometimes you just lose to the deck that has better draws. I'm not gonna win because they actually, you know, this survives the combat. So I mulliganed, and then I have the opponent got 2/2 for once. It's just and they had a better board there. No way for me to win there. I need some maybe bigger creatures. So I think the picker isn't that interesting. I'm gonna take the Cyclops here, but I don't think I necessarily need that much else. That's fine. I just need to, you know, have a better start than they did. It's not the greatest, but at least I want to play, so even if they have a 2-drop... Oh, I have a 2-drop myself now. But even if they had a 2-drop, I can still have this menace 3-drop before they have attacked me even once. But of course this is now a lot better because I was able to find one of my 2s. Oh, they have the same thing there. Okay, then. No, let's see if they're gonna block. The one on the blade in this matchup has such a huge advantage because these pump spells are so much better when you are the one doing, being the aggressor here. Tail swipe. Alright. So be it. If they have a 2-drop now, they actually are gonna able to raise me. Well, they don't, so... It wasn't not really a position where you should use a Colossal Growth just to add some damage here. It's better to wait until later on. I am slightly ahead of the race here still. If they were able to deploy a 2-drop while playing the tail swipe, that would have been a lot different story. They don't seem to play any creatures now, so let's see how this goes. I'm gonna play the Cyclops. And now they are really in trouble. They can't just attack and let me attack back, because I don't think it's gonna deal 13 here. If it double strikes, okay, if you kick Colossal Growth with the uncommon that gives double strike, yeah, that works. That, and then the uncommon. No, no such thing. But they have a monstrosity here. Is that enough for them? Because I have 2 Colossal Growths, I can kick them both. No, I have a win here. I have a win here because this, unless they have like a tail swipe here. But even a tail swipe won't help here. Because I can just respond with another Colossal Growth. Okay, this matchup is just whoever is on the play, and unless you struggle with your drops a little bit. Yeah, this is kind of funny. I mean, do I need like a Gaia's Might for a small little pump? It can be a +3/+3 in this deck, because I can get one of these swamps and either by drawing one of them or just kicking the sprouting goblin. 1 mana +3/+3 might be what this matchup needs. But what would I be cutting here though? I don't really want to cut anything. Yeah, this is tough. I guess there's not much. I mean, I guess I hope to have a Quirion Beast Collar that they cannot answer or something. Yeah, this is really about who draws better and who's on the play. So I'm going to be not the favorite in this game 3, but we'll see. Okay, well, this is a good hand with 3 lands, both colors, a 2-drop, 3-drop. So at least losing the bad draws here. Unless I just continue flooding out from now on. Blast, which I will try to block. With this thing, there's no point. I mean, I don't mind trading the Root Vala to a pump spell. That is totally fine. They actually seem to be lacking a. It was just a trade. Lacking a red mana there. So far, doesn't matter. Okay, that is killable by the Flowstone Infusion, but it costs 2 extra because of the ward there. So, am I gonna do the Flame Sage? Try to get some free spells, or just play, you know, a big creature. I mean, I guess I could just play the Badger here. I have only 1 forest, so let's play the green card out here now. Do I wanna trade here? It's just a 3/3, and I don't even have a Colossal Growth in my hand. I might actually trade here. Okay, it worked. Another choice, alright. Well, guess I'm gonna play this guy. Okay, that's some kind of domain. That's not red or green producing thing. Well, let's just. I think the trading there is just fine. I can. If this doesn't die, I can, you know, enlist this. Alright, so then it will die. But before that happens, I'm gonna play my big guy here. Okay, so now I only need my Colossal Growths, and this can enlist the monstrosity, but let's see what they have. Infantry. I can kill with it. Okay, I can now kill it for sure. I just tapped out there. Good. Iconoclast even. So I'm gonna play this, this, and this. If I get a Colossal Growth, I can kick it with red. Yeah, this is exactly great. So who am I gonna? Guess I'm going to enlist the Iconoclast. Kinda sad to enlist the Tramplers though, but I do want to get the free spell there, of course. Plus I might hit, you know, the This gives me one extra look. I get to look 7 cards or 6 cards. If I get the Trampler, this will trample as well. I mean the Kicker spell, this will trample as well. But I guess they don't have a good block on there. Yeah, I'm gonna do it like this. 6 is enough. I have a lot of outs in the deck. Yeah, first the enlist, and then ready to resolve. There is one Colossal Growth, exactly. I'm gonna kick it here, and they just realized that I'm gonna deal here with 15 points of trample, and they have no good blocks, and they didn't even know, but I could still kill the infantry before they get to untap. So that was just game over. At least the Flame Sage did a very strong thing in the game, so my first pick in the draft wasn't useless. On the play, well, it has a Beast Color which I can cast, and if I need to, I can play this as a 1 mana. Sorry, 2 mana 1/1 flyer with haste, and then if this dies, it can maybe give this another counter or something. I'm gonna still keep it because the only bad thing that can happen is that this gets killed right away. Okay, at least I drew a land there. But because if I can untap with this. It's gonna pick a counter. I'm gonna play, this as a 2/2 haster if I can. Okay, maybe not. Actually, it's a better idea now to just attack into that, use the Colossal Growth to make the trade happen. I mean, trading with the pump spell, and then I'm gonna play the tapped land, and then I can have the Rulik Mons happen, and maybe the Devastator will be played, later as a bigger creature. So definitely just play this and not attacking yet. Now if this Beast Color dies, Rulik Mons becomes a 4/4. Then I might play a 4/4 haster here. This has this, but I guess Tortoise can double block with the Wine Wall here, but let's see what else happens. Just a Lone Speaker. Okay, so I guess with the land I can play this as a 5/5 on the next turn, and I can use my Colossal Growth now. Kicked. That makes sense. I get the. By the way, you can always get a 1/1 with this thing. I wouldn't in this case because I actually want to have lands on the battlefield, but even if you see a land card, you may put it on the battlefield. And if you didn't put a card on the battlefield, you get a 1/1. So you can always get the 1/1 if you want to. But if you see a land, you can choose to not get a 1/1 and get the land on the battlefield instead. Anyhow, let's do this. Colossal Growth is a good one, for sure. Lone Speaker is a good one, but I'm not. They basically need to have an answer for the Sivan Devastator, which I think I'm going to play next turn. But of course, it does depend on what they do, because I do have another Colossal Growth. Okay, a lot of Hexbane choices. The previous opponent had 2 of them as well. Alright, so this is only a sorcery speed activation to make a 3/3 elemental. They have 1 mana up. But this flyer will be such a large one that I think it's time to just go with it. X equals 5. And I'm gonna attack everything, including the token, I guess. Well, that was easy. I had my rare and my mythic rare. I kept 2 lands and I actually was able to play... I mean, this was my turn 6 and I played my 6th land, so that was pretty perfect set of draws there. Now, based on what I saw, what I'm supposed to do, they have Hexbane Tortoise, the Steel Crusher, Loam Speaker, so is this another like red-green base, maybe domain deck? Just like the previous opponent, it wasn't the same person. I think their name alias was something else than a digital object, so it's just these kind of decks battling it out against each other. Does that mean I should play something like a Hurler Cyclops here? Maybe not, because this, the Goblin Picker is pretty good against 3 mana 3/2s. I can just trade with them. So I'm not going to make any kind of change here. I'll just use the same deck for now. It's not as good of a starting hand because I lack the 2-drop, but I have a 3-drop and I have 3 lands with both colors. No reason to mulligan such a hand. Plus there's also always a chance to draw a 2-drop, which I did, but I would prefer to kick this guy, especially because I have a 5-drop, 7-drop in my hand, and now I have this. Now they have a very strong 2-drop, they can accelerate and all that, but I mean, because I drew the Iconoclast here, I do like my chances. I can kick this for one of the lands that also produces black. I can't really attack into that, unless I'm willing to, 2 for 1, but I'm not, because I'd rather just kick this guy on this turn. And actually, it's the kind of position where I would want to have an untapped land on the next turn. How important is the Bog Badger? I will have only 2 outs to find the swamp, but I guess... if I play a tapped land on the... because of course I can just fetch a tapped land and still draw an untapped land and play the Warbrute in that way. But if I don't draw an untapped land on the next turn, I would have to play the Bog Badger anyway, unless the spell is, a better thing to play. Yeah, I think I'll just have to take the untapped land. It is possible, I just won't be kicking this even if I had the black mana available. I might have to play it just as a as a 3/3/3. So yeah, the opponent was on the play and played a turn 3/4/4 thanks to the Loam Speaker. That is of course going to give them a good advantage here. They have a Bailoff here too. Well, I do have a Colossal Growth here now, but can't say I'm a big fan of. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave mana up for the Flowstone Infusion here. And at least, kind of representing to have this tap ability up. But I need to, take a 2-for-1 trade here. I need to get rid of some of this stuff. So the idea is that I can, of course, double block one of them, but I assume they have, a trick to make the double block very bad, and then I hope the Colossal Growth is gonna be good enough. So if they have a Colossal Growth of their own, I can't kill the Bailoff, but the Bailoff is better, so I think I just should do this and hope they don't have exactly a kicked Colossal Growth. If they have like removal on some of these, either of these guys, that's still gonna be fine. Or they might just take the... okay, they had exactly the one card that made this block bad. What is this Colossal Growth stuff now? So if I did the double block on the sentry, they would have 8 toughness there, and I would still be able to finish it off with the infusion. But now that they did... this is a pretty much of a Colossal Growth draft. Beast color. Okay, well, I have to use my own Problem is they can start attacking with the 3/3s from the lone speaker. I guess when you just have you're on the play, have a lone speaker into, you know, a turn 3, 4, 4, followed by a turn 4, 4, 5 with a Colossal Growth backup. It's gonna be very tough for my deck to try to beat. They're not enlisting. Well, I mean, I'm going to lose here anyway if they have anything, so I just take 7 damage here. Oh, I can't. Okay, I forgot. I should have gone to blocks before. I mean, I should have used the Colossal Growth before. Well, then I can kill this guy at least. But yeah, I should have done the Colossal Growth before blocks. Then I could, you know, kill the better guy here. But let's see. Okay, I'm gonna die to this thing. Yep, that was just too much to handle. Too much to handle when they had the lone speaker there. Do I now want to have a... Because I saw these big creatures there, I think I want to have a gain after all the Cyclops here. And maybe I still should just lose the Goblin Picker here. Fine, let's do that. Okay, on the play, I get to be with a hand I can keep. Okay, the opponent mulligans, so that's gonna increase my chances a little bit. If I should kick this, because I don't really need more lands, but I don't draw any other 2-drop. Now the only reason to not kick this is that... But how good is the 2-2? Because I guess I can use the lands to sack them and draw cards. So I'm going to also use this opportunity to play one of my tapped lands. And then I can... Now that I didn't even draw here a spell, this is fine because I'm gonna... I don't need the swamp anymore. I have one and that's all I need. So I wasn't gonna... I guess I would have been able to attack for 2 here. Okay, well the opponent is not doing anything, so this will be a very easy game now. This will give +3/+3 on the Sprouting Goblin if they don't kill them. You know, they have to kill at least one of them for that not to happen, and that's... Because then I can attack for 8, play the Badger at least if I don't draw anything, and that was... Well, I mean, they are elegant to 6, they had to keep this kind of hand, which is totally understandable. 2 lands and hoping to draw maybe like the Forest to play a game of Magic. They didn't, and that has happened to me. It happens to everyone once in a while, so now it was my turn to get the free win out of that situation. Which was of course kinda okay, because it was the game 3 of the match, so I wanted to get the win to win the match, but that's not really fun for me either to win a game like that. Okay, maybe something else than a red-green mirror match. It's funny because I haven't really played against such decks, and now I have had basically 2 opponents with the same kind of deck that I have now. Okay, there's at least a swamp here. This is a decent hand. 2-drop, 3-drop, Devastator at some point. All the colors. Okay, this might be a domain. At least they do have 3 different types already. And they play a Rager, which I don't know if I want to trade with. I guess I still could. The picker isn't gonna do that much here, so let's... they got a card, but I mean, what can I do with the picker here otherwise? They are not gonna take it, are they? Yeah, trade is... Way to go there. So I could play a hasty 3/3 flyer if that's the only thing I have going on for me. One of the reasons, by the way, I made the trade there is that my Enish guy is now more likely to be able to connect. Okay, so let's actually choose to kill this guy. I guess I'm gonna play the tapped land and then pump this guy once and attack for 3. I know this way I don't have the cost up, but I'm I'm not really that concerned about, you know, getting this removed by something. Plus a black spell that removes this can even be something that just outright destroys, so the Colossal Code wouldn't be helping that much. Okay, so now they use the sleeper there. I hope they don't have an answer for this guy, because if I get to untap with this on the battlefield, all the monsters it's not so playable. It's an 8 mana card. Okay. They even didn't let me. That is well played, because I mean, they didn't even let me untap. But they do know this card is in this format. Okay, Elascon, the interesting order of playing these cards. They could have gained a life point there, but well. Alright, well, I mean, I kind of want to kill this, but then again, Warbrute is also quite decent here. But this is more expensive card. This has Death Touch, so it's going to, you know, I need to kill this guy regardless. So let's just, you know, use the 5 mana removal spell and have a scry here. So if I get the land here, it's not gonna be enough to cast the monstrosity, because once I cast this is still a 5 mana card, I mean. So I would need a total of 9 mana. And this would actually be my 7th mana, so oh, get away here. They have actually had only these 4 lands, and no, I guess I have to trade with that guy at some point. Yeah, but they're holding 4 spells. I'm really not a fan of that development. Well, they are still at 12 here only. I actually have a lethal attack coming here. I mean, if I play this and kick the Colossal Growth, that is 9 power of trample plus 3 power. That's 12. So if they have no blockers and no removal on my Warbrute, I have a lethal attack coming. But that also needs me to draw an untapped land. Okay, so it's not really a very likely scenario. They are gonna attack with the Necromass for sure. But I'm also worried about them having, you know, still 4 spells in their hand. They did play a planes right now, but that means they just drew it and they still have the 4 lands. Necromass is a very good card against this deck, because it will not be... Oh, that's disgusting. It won't be, you know, the Colossal Growth can just... I mean, I will still lose my creature that I pump with the Colossal Growth when Necromass is involved in the combat. Okay, so... I mean, I can't even... No, I can't beat the Paragon unless I draw like a... No, I can't draw anything because I drew my removal there. So they're gonna play a next turn one of these Benalis sleepers, right? Okay, Runic Mons can actually get me a 1/1 if I really want to. But it has to attack, because I can give it haste, that's the idea, but... No, the Serra Paragon, it's too much. They get to play stuff from their graveyard. It doesn't even matter, all of these are very good. They can, I mean, all of these are castable. Yeah, it's my turn to lose to a Mythic Rare now. Sadly, they had an answer on mine. They had the answer on mine. Well, I guess the only thing I can do is to attack here and hope they block with the Serra Paragon here. It is kind of a free attack because well, maybe they could double block. It's not such a free attack. So now the question is, can I, if I kick this, the monstrosity will be a 1 mana card, but I still can't cast everything, right? That costs, I have 7 mana, so kicking this is I will be left with 4, and then this costs 1, but then I don't have only 3 for this, so not exactly. Problem is they're gonna get the 3-1, and they also gain life. This says that they, when it dies, they gain 2 life. Alright, so I have to. They can sacrifice it right away, so they are going to go to a higher life total there. Not much to do. Yeah, I mean the Serra Paragon is the nasty part here. Not the Necromass. I can actually beat the Necromass here. If this was like the Griffin, you know, Protector, what's the 4-mana white flyer? But they actually chose to get the death touch, not the sacrifice effect. Alright. So I do have trambles here. Sunbathing route, because I can give this haste. But they are at 9. That is. So let's say they don't have a spell, which I really doubt. But I can have 7 power trample here. Plus this 8. I can have 15 power of trample. Well, it's not enough. By any means. So I just have to do this. It does actually seem like they don't have a spell. So this is only going to attack for trample for 3. Well, it's actually very close to me, you know, killing them, because if I had another Colossal Growth, I would win. But this is, I can deal 7, and they are at. Yep, it's not gonna work. So let's do like this. I'm happy they didn't, you know, block with the Elias. Well, I don't know. I exactly have enough green. I was, for a moment, I was worried that I don't have 3 green, but I had exactly 3 green here. So now if they use the, you know, the penalty sleeper here, at least I can just, you know, sacrifice my root vola here. Well, that's not so good against the trample which I have here. Especially if I draw another Colossal Growth, I think I will win in that case. Okay, so of course I kind of forgot that they didn't play from graveyard yet. So Colossal Growth or lose, because I don't think I can anymore win with the. But I mean, I'm gonna lose otherwise. So I hope they do some kind of bad. Oh, it was on the top of my deck here. Because I can make the Rulikmos into 7/7 Trampler, but they double block that. Well, they don't have that much toughness, but. Okay, so let's see. This is a trampling over 2. Yeah, it's not gonna be enough. Although I'm not dead on the next turn, so. Or am I? Because I am dead on the next turn because I get so many life losses because of the Elasil core. Yep. They're gonna win with the flyer now. So actually I would have won maybe on the next turn with the Colossal Growth, but they have now the lethal attack there. So I needed this Colossal Growth right now, and then I would have won even the game there. Well, not much I can do about the, you know, the Serra Paragon. It's just so much value. Don't think much changes here. Don't think the Hurler's Cyclops is that amazing here now. So let's use the same deck and again try to win. Well, I had a good curve out there. Yeah, the opponent just had, you know, a better curve out. That's just how it went. I need 1 land to get to play my 3-drops, but I guess if I do draw it, it's fine. The Rata here too. If I don't draw it, it's not really fine. And they have an Elas. I did draw it, so let's just I'm willing to trade with this guy, so let's play the battery here. Don't really want to trade with the librarian though. And I need to save this for the angel they have. Okay, well, they're gonna attack with the librarian anyway, so and I don't wanna take the 3 just for fun, so let's just make this happen and play the cover, which I also am willing to block them. I didn't now get my 4th land, so if they play the angel now, which they do. Okay. Not great. They can just take the damage, and I can not do even much. I can pump this once and play a sunbathing. They get the yeah. Set a paragon. What can you do? I had the removal for it, but I didn't draw the lands for it, so that's already enough value because they can also start attacking for 3 here. I mean, I still have a chance, but it's a low chance at this point because they can now block with the weapons. And then they can recast it from the graveyard. So yeah. But I guess if they double block with, yeah, well, I suppose I can do it like this. I'm gonna attack with. Okay, I wasn't supposed to do that, but I guess I did. Well, I don't think it matters because I'm gonna do this regardless in this turn if they don't block. But yeah, if they block with both. At least they lose the librarian. They do get exiled, so you can't just continuously play the same creatures with the paragon. But now I will block the librarian with my root walla, as annoying as it sounds, but that's something that has to happen. Then I hope to draw a land to kill the paragon. They of course get 2 life here. I'm already at 11, so I mean, this is of course the entire thing here is just a horrible. Can't really outrace them. So there is the land, but I mean it's beyond me having much of a chance here. I have to kill it though, but I actually don't mind having the land for this Devastator, I guess. And the triggers for this thing. But they will attack with everything now, and this threatens to deal 7. Well, I guess they can now deal 3 or 5 here. Maybe they have a Gaia's Might in there and, you know, finish me off. Once they played the Paragon and I didn't have my land drops to kill it with the Fire and Iron immediately. That was pretty much it. Okay, I'm at 1. How do I beat them? I guess I'm gonna play a 5-5 here. That's. Oh, I can play a 4-4. Sorry, one of these, and then have the Colossal Growth. I guess that is slightly better here. But I'm assuming they can, you know, make me lose a life here somehow. They also have an evolved Sleepers, and this is, by the way, a black and white deck. Don't be, I mean, this is only for domain purposes. I think the Haunted Mire and the Radiant Grove. This is a black and white deck, as you can see. Repossession there. Yep. I think I can now. I saw the green splash sage for the repossession, and there's no way I can win them before they win the game. I mean, before bad things happen with the Elasilkor. Okay, so double angel there was enough for them to gain enough advantage there. But I guess this still showcased, because I would have won the first game if the Colossal Growth that was on top of my library, which I saw with the uncommon Rulik Mons. If I drew it on that turn, I would have won the game. So these are really decent cards. I mean, if you're wondering why did I pick everything I saw, because they are really good. And you have to just combine, of course, them with an early mana curve creatures, and hopefully the opponent doesn't have a ton of Death Touchers like my last round opponent had at least 2 and they drew them. But yep, I like this archetype a lot, and at least it was something different than the blue-red decks I have been having quite a few of in the latest drafts. So that was it to Winner this time, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you for watching, and bye bye.